What have we become? Part 2. Michael, Creator Son Dash. This is Michael from heaven, where I bestowed Jesus here on earth that we call Urantia. From the bestowal of Jesus here on Urantia, Jesus done some good in changing some things that lead everyone that would listen to him, that a change from within their being their will change one's saved. Saved means to survive death. As your Creator Son Michael of heaven, I am in attendance with you this morning for this rather important message for all of you as you read the forum, as I want to reiterate some of the warnings that have been given several times. You continue, and rightfully so, to think along in the same vein as your thoughts have been resurfacing for several of you in the past several days concerning the extreme caution, care, discernment and careful discrimination that will be required of all of you in the days directly preceding from the moment of the announcement of Jesus when he returns on Urantia, as it is broadcasted to Urantia. Your writing, speaking and doing, in particular with those you closely interact with in the times ahead after the announcements, must be done with the greatest of these attributes requiring your attention and wisdom. As you can see and observe from reading thoughts and messages and opinions from several of the members in the past few days, that many of you are thinking along similar lines. These similar thoughts and messages, dear children, are no accident, nor is it a vital coincidence. We are working diligently with each of you in many ways through your thought adjusters, what we call fragments of God, and various guides and instructors that work with you, who are transmitting to you to get these cautionary messages so that you can truly get them, for what is about to happen may well be beyond what you have considered to be as probable. Urantia, and the house that Jack built, is becoming more violent and insane with each passing day. The fact that all of this is occurring is just further evidence of just how this world is so out of step, and in the worst possible ways that are so totally out of alignment with the heart of God. That Spirit has to intervene in the affairs of man on Urantia is more evident with each passing moment. Several of you have mentioned and have received from us to be prepared and realize that your worldwide communication networks are going to fail for a time, and to experience this failure perhaps multiple times. You, as you call it, social media, is so out of control, and the heartless version of tweeting and all of the other methods that hate, corruption, misinformation, and so many other inconceivable transmissions of wrongdoing and wrong thinking are spread and get put out over almost every conceivable method that humanity now uses, and it has been allowed to grow into the miserable and dangerous state that further takes mankind down to the depths of near depravity and borders on its own evil intent and insanity. I know that none of you have any inkling of what a normal world would look like, since you have absolutely no frame of reference for what real spirituality, what real truth, beauty and goodness looks like from where you are right now in this present moment on Urantia, and from multiple defaults and a consequent quarantine. We talk of a usual magisterial mission, and yet Urantia is so darkened, so steeped in a lack even basic respect and kindness for each other, and without much in the way that resembles this heart of God that we so often speak of. This is not, my children, to say that there are not truly wonderful and good people on Urantia. For there are, but even they are not brought to the attention in, by and through your many ways of disseminating information around your world because of a dysfunctional, controlled, and sordid worldwide media. Many have hearts of gold and do good work. Many have this proclivity towards what you call random acts of kindness, and there are many here on this forum, Sarara.org, and around the globe who engage in this way of life. When Jesus mandates for each of you to go about your world and simply do good, to love one another, yet for most on Urantia this is a foreign and unthought of way to live. Your world is mostly so selfish, unthinking, and so self-centered, and without this indispensable heart of God, to be able on its own to receive the reality of love of the Father and all of Spirit. We would like to be able to share with you somehow the truth, to know of these other planets and worlds who have not aligned themselves with sin, rebellion and evil, for when they receive a magisterial mission, when they receive the upgrades shared by material sons and daughters, such as Adam and Eve, the results are much different than what this mission to Urantia will have to initiate to redeem and remake a world that Urantia has become. I reiterate these many warnings with you today because of its importance for all of you to bring to your hearts, minds, and into you constant considerations and awareness that even though it is going to get much worse before it gets better, that we are with you and we know that you are with us. Keep the warnings that we have shared with you ever in your coming experiences. Discern well and look closely, and above all stay safe and be wise in what you write, say and do. Your thought adjuster, through the messages that they and many are prepared to give you, are only as good as your abilities to be quiet and carefully listen and be willing to follow and respond to that voice that is within you. There will come that time and soon that you will be at that place on this world that you have no working television, no working radio, no cell phone, no communication outlet other than the ability to determine what is occurring through what you receive from us through your inner hearing. It is to your personal benefit and to those in your immediate surroundings that will be needed and used after Jesus makes his announcement. The turmoil that will be created is undeterminable but will be immense. The Spirit of Truth, the coming of the recently revealed spiritual explosion that has been brought up, may help in a significant way for some, but the point I want to bring home for all of you is to keep practicing. Keep honing in that ability to hear and follow the guidance and instruction that will be given through your thought adjusters and through the accuracy that you have developed in these final remaining days ahead. It has been stated several times now that as these events occur you must take the position in safety and wisdom and allow Spirit and the incarnated beings assigned here to do their work before it may be appropriate for you to be about the Father's work and business. Your inner voice will tell you when the time has come. I know that you have been thinking about just how will the adjudication of the realm, which is one of the prime functions of a magisterial mission's directives, can and will be accomplished, and will there be a massive removal of evildoers and those that will basically be seen as enemies of not only Jesus and Sarah and the magisterial missions but all who come to intervene in the affairs of mankind on Urantia. No other magisterial mission has been required to deal with so much that will have to have been confronted by them, since Urantia is so out of line and in fact so diametrically opposed and in contradistinction with the Father's will and divine plan and purposes for an experimental planet like Urantia, who is so adversely affected and infected by the Lucifer rebellion and consequent Caligastia betrayal. Rest assured and in confidence and lasting trust that all that is required will be done to the letters of universal law. I will leave it here so to keep this message focused, concise, and on the important points being made yet once again for all of you today. Hold these points fast and keep these warnings firm in your thinking and at your instant disposal. This is Michael. Good day. End.